One guitar scream in unison like a battle cry piercing the air. Each sonority is a weapon, cutting with precision like the warrior's blade. A symphony of power fusing melodies to produce sacred harmonies ignited with energy. This is Shred, and in today's class we'll decode the secret formula bands like Iron Maiden used to compose guitar harmonies. The ones that send chills down your spine and make every song feel like an epic tale. Now, get ready to wield your guitar like Excalibur and cast your own harmonic spell. Get my scale Bible for free in the description below. Turn those exotic scales into heavy riffs with my brand new Riff Lord Challenge course. If you're tired of being stuck in the pentatonic trap, hurry to get my 40% off discount code below. Bands like Iron Maiden harmonize by playing two guitars at once. The secret is playing two scales at the same time. Make it more musical by composing a melody. Next, go up a third and play the same basic shape. Let's begin today's class by checking out a classic harmonizing example from Iron Maiden. Now check this out. Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden, right? Now, that's a strong melody, but something magical happens when you harmonize it. And the basic concept in harmonizing is going up a third, right? So if this is our main line, what we want to figure out is how to take everything up a third. And the biggest mistake people will make is they'll say, okay, if this is shape 1, then shape 2 is that same thing up a third. And that's actually not how it works. The trick is you have to stay in the same key, and that's not the same key. We're in E minor here, so if you think about the notes in E minor, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E. So you actually have to change the next shape to fit the key. And to do that, you have to be thinking, okay, this first one's Aeolian. And going up a third, 1, 2, 3, that's going to be the Ionian scale. So you're thinking about Aeolian and Ionian. That right there is a big unlock. I was talking to a student on Discord about it. You got to change the neck shape to fit the key. It's not just the same pattern up 3 frets. So I'll show you what I mean. So now we're going to go up to G, right? Because the first one started on E. So this harmony part is going to basically, it's going to be the same general shape, but now in major. So we've got some major notes here. Oh, whoops. Hold on a minute. We got to repeat that 10. Then we're heading up to, yeah, this one's going to be the 5th. Again, though, it's that major triad now instead of a minor triad. Okay, perfect. And then it would just be a matter of kind of repping out those same ideas here. Let's see if we get this right. Yep, so that's got to be the, let's see, what's it? That's going to be the 10 up to the 5th again. Okay, let's see if that makes sense. Yeah, I think I missed one note there, but you get the idea. That is how we harmonize. Now, if you're confused at this point, I don't blame you. What we're going to do next is play 2 scales side by side to really make it clear how you actually harmonize. Now, we're going to transpose into the saddest of all keys, according to Spinal Tap, D minor. And this is a beautiful key that I would highly recommend you become intimately acquainted with. And here's how harmonization works in the most clear way possible. What we're going to do is basically play the D minor scale, right? So the second pitch there is E. Then we go up to the F word, F. Then we're going to ascend to the D string here. And we got the same basic pattern. Oh, out of me, demon spirits. And then, yeah, we're back up to the root there. So our D minor scale is like that. Beautiful scale. Now to harmonize, you just start on the relative majors. So 1, 2, 3, and now you're going to play the F major scale. And that is going to be our harmony part. So the F major scale, you got F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, which is right there, and then back to F. Now, what I'm about to show you is a total game changer. What we're going to do is play both of those scales at the same time on guitar. Now, here's what I mean, right? So I'm going to actually change the F major scale to the D string, but I'm going to move these thirds like this. And that way you can really picture what's happening. So if we tab that out, what I just played, you've got a third, right? And you're thinking, okay, that's the root of the scale D. Now, I'm going to move up the scale along one string here. So maybe actually we even do that first. So let's just go for the D minor scale here, all along the A string though. This is really important so that you can visualize what's happening. So let's see. Wait a minute. Man, we need to go one more bar here. So let me insert a bar. There we go. Add this up to that line. We really up that high. That 17 should be the highest note. Yeah, because I was thinking F major there for a second. Okay, I got it. All right, so there's our D minor scale. Now we're going to put in the F major scale. And we've already got our first note. Then we're going to climb up to, yeah, the G. Then we've got the A, the B flat, the C, the D, the E, and finally the F. Okay, so there it is. This exercise is a game changer. If you can get this down, it's really good for understanding the fretboard, and it shows you what Iron Maiden's doing in one guitar part. They separate it into two, but you can play it with just one. For our second example, we're going to have a look at Megadeth's Hangar 18. Check out this harmony part. There's the Ginger Genius. The Hangar 19, Hangar 18, let me correct that here, is a classic track by Megadeth that is said to be stolen from Metallica's Call of the Cthulhu, right? How does that one go? Something like that. And you can hear in Hangar 18 that maybe Dave is stealing that same progression. And he's just strumming the chords, basically. So there's a harmony part that you get between Dave and Marty's guitars. And Dave's guitar sounds like this. So he has that, what Rick Beato would call line cliche, that chromatic line happening, which is actually the more fun part to play, I would argue. And then Marty has a part that's up a third in some cases. Actually, a lot of the notes repeat. You can see like here the O and the O is the same. That's the P word, the pedal tone, which is the composer's most important compositional tool, because that provides the C word, context. Now you can see here, for example, though, Marty's going up to an F and Dave's repping the D. Give me the D, baby. Those two pitches are a third apart, and that's where we get our harmony sound. So let's see, Marty's part sounds like this. Just raises on the last part. Now in the next segment here, we're going to talk about how you can take not just a scale, but an actual melody and harmonize it. We're going to be using the greatest melody of all time, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, check this out. We're actually going to change it to D minor, like this, because it makes it more fun. Let's be honest, you know, we're all about doom and gloom as metalheads. Okay, so we rep out the root, then we go up a fifth to A, hit the flat 6th degree, back down to the 5th, then we're going to come down to the 4th degree there, and then we go 3rd degree, 2nd degree, down to the root. Okay, this melody is really powerful, and it's great for studying melodic contour or shape because it has a rise and a fall. It basically tells a story. It tells a musical story. Now, to harmonize this melody, you're going to have to think in terms of how do I take up each note a third, right? So on that first one, we've already played that shape, but then if you go up to the 5th degree A, you know, what's a third up from that in the scale? And all you really have to do is count through the alphabet. So if you're on A, B, C would be the third. And the way that I'm navigating through these notes is using key signatures, right? Since we're in 1 flat right here, you can see, then I know that anytime I get to a B, it's going to be flatted. So keep in mind your key when you're doing this. And that's where, like I said before, people get into trouble. They're thinking, oh, I just take the same shape and I go up 3 frets. But that's not how it works inside of keys. You got to keep the key signature in mind. So we're going to go up a third for that first one, then up another third there. And then when we get to the B flat, you're thinking, okay, what's up a third from B flat, C, D in the key of D minor. So that's going to be 7th fret on G, and then we come back to that 5. Let's see, a G note. How do you harmonize a G note? Now here's where the key signature comes into play. G, A, B, but it's got to be flat. You got to flat that B. So here we go. And then the 8th fret is an F note. So that's got an A as its harmony part. And then let's see. For an E, the harmony part's going to be G. So that's going to be the 5th fret. And then finally the last one back to that F. Okay, cool. So here's our twinkle. Oh, it's beautiful. Glorious. Way more interesting than the major version. Now, harmonizing doesn't have to be just a scale thing or a melody thing. You can also harmonize things like arpeggios, and you can even use different intervals. So let's check out a few examples in the next segment. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is this harmonized arpeggio. This comes from the C form here. And we're going to be doing an A minor arpeggio. So the lick is down on the 10th fret of the B string here, and then down again on the 8th fret of the high E string. Then we have an up on the 12th fret of the high E before we pull off back to 8 and then pull off to the open string. So that is the articulation for this arpeggio. So you can see my pick there. That's the idea. Now, the next arpeggio that's going to create the harmony is an E minor. And we're going to go up a 5th for that guy. Now let's get into Logic and we'll record this to get a sense of what's going on. So I'm going to come up here and engage low latency mode. And then we're going to take guitar 2 here and see if we can rep this out. And let's get the second harmony part. So pretty cool effect. It kind of takes it into another dimension of sound. It's almost like the devil's infused in those licks. Now I want to show you one more idea you could use here. Let's see. Let's maybe use a little different tempo for this guy. Go up to 132, and this one, the lick will be like a D minor. Actually, I'll show you the lick here. Okay, so here's the idea with the lick. A really cool hybrid idea. Like that. Outlining a D minor arpeggio. Then the harmony part, we're going to basically do a D minor in first inversion. Which is a very cool sound. So it's not a different arpeggio, it's the same arpeggio, but just done in a different inversion. So let's see if we can get the first arpeggio down here. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Let's try it one more time. Oh, I still didn't get it. So close. One more time. Cool. Okay, now the next arpeggio, let's see if we can grab that. Yeah, you kind of let it hang on the last one there. Cool effect. If you're in my modern guitar mastery class, your homework will be as follows. Step 1, write a melody. Make it your most epic, soulful melody possible. And then step 2, I want you to harmonize that melody. You could, use other intervals if you wanted. They wouldn't have to be thirds. But that's the Iron Maiden sound. That's the most popular. If you have any questions, reach out to me or others on Discord, and I can't wait to hear what you come up with.